Welcome back, guys. We're continuing, or actually starting, the French Empire campaign. So, because, then again, I was going to put all the ships into one port, but there's no way that they're going to fit. So I think it's about an average of 26,000 tons. And I've got 13, so 26, 52, 78, 338. I haven't got that much in any of these. It won't be far off. So I think what I'll do, send all of them to Brest apart from 2 which can go to Le Havre. I might try and pick a war with the British. Oh, then again, I'm playing on random mode, so everybody's resources are randomised. So let's have a look, see who's got what. Oh, brutal. We've got the worst GDP. In my last campaign, I was 3rd highest. I was in the middle. So it looks like the British have got the best in this campaign. That's interesting. Germans had the best in the last one. Germans second. But the British and the Germans have got the lowest growth. So although they've got the best GDP, they've got the lowest growth. We've actually got the best growth, so it just means that we've got a slow start. So yeah, very interesting. So I'm going to definitely go for the British first. If I can anyway. Sometimes it can be quite challenging to build tension with the British. To get a war with the British, you need to build tension in the Eastern Mediterranean. Without that, then you're relying on the British starting the war against you. So yeah, everybody to Brest apart from 2 which are to Le Havre. Spot on, look at that. Couldn't have cut that any finer. Right, so straight off the bat, we're going to need to put these. Oh, we can't quite yet. Have to wait a turn. But we're going to need to put them in limited. It's unlikely I'm going to have the finances. Oh, then again, I don't mind going bankrupt at the start a couple of times, because it actually works out better in the long run. So I don't. Yeah, I can basically leave the crew training at 0 and just build my training up during battles. But seeing as I'm not in battles at the moment, I can get them up to trained and then reduce it to 0, or at the very least reduce it to 51. Tech budget. So like I say, I don't mind going bankrupt at the beginning. So I think I might do that. You only need 75% to match what the AI usually manage. Okay, so we're going to go bankrupt on turn 1, but it's all good. It's intended. So we're getting positive in the Western as well. So we're gonna really struggle starting a fight with the British. What we could really do with finding out is who the British are going to be friendly with in this, and then starting a fight with the friends. to reduce the tension, reduce the relations that way. So for now, see the good thing here is the naval budget. It doesn't matter about the GDP. The naval budget's more important. The naval prestige and the unrest are only bad if they reach 100, minus 100. Well, plus 100 on the unrest. So as long as you don't really go above 50, then you should be safe. So I reckon I'm going to go for this one, because I've got minus 25 and 7, so the naval prestige is the biggest issue at the moment. So now I should be able to set all my fleet to limited. So I'll do that for the time being. We've obviously got a load of naval funds from that. So what I can try and do, even though I've just set it at limited, is try and pick a fight to see if I can actually get it to work. The Germans were the second, weren't they? Although they'll probably be fighting the British. Let's go down to the Eastern Med and just see if we can build tensions there. Because we've got the naval funds at the moment, and I actually want to go bankrupt one more time. So I don't mind the fact that I'm massively negative at the moment. Well, this isn't looking promising. I'll leave it a couple more minutes and then I'll exit and reload the campaign. That's good. Didn't have to reload. Right then, we're reducing relations with all four by being in the Eastern Med, which is good and bad. it's bad because if I start a war with, say, the Austro-Hungarians, it might increase the relations with the British. But there's not much I can do about it. Well, there's literally nothing I can do about it. The only potential thing I could do is try and remove some of these ships to see if it removes, say, tensions with the Germans. But with these two nations here being in the Eastern Med, it's almost certain that I'll be building it with these two at least. So yeah, looks like I'm not going to be fighting the British until quite late on. What I could do is build tensions with the British up here until I'm ready to actually go to war, and then come down to the Eastern Mediterranean to actually go to war. Right, power projection is 112. So if we exit game, because sometimes it doesn't update the power projection when you change C rolls, and we were in being before we left the port, so it might not have updated the C roll to C control. See, there we go, it's practically doubled it. So yeah, I recommend doing that. Right then, well, in this case, if my power projection is that high, I probably only need half of these ships here. So let's send half of them back home. Marseille will do. So let's say send 5 of these battleships back. Let's actually send 6 back. Well, then again, now I've got an odd amount. 2 Richelieu, 2 Charlemagne, I need 1 Magnanime. Okay, let's see what that does for our tensions. So it's actually the British are the ones that dropped the first. Typical. Yeah, the Brits are going to be a nightmare to coax into a war. I might have to be at war with all 3 nations at the same time to get them in. So I'll leave the British till last. We obviously don't need this many ships here. So let's send another 3 back. 1 Magnanime, 1 Charlemagne, 1 Richelieu. Put these to limited. See what that does. Interestingly enough, the Austro-Hungarians are the lowest, and the Germans, who are miles away, are only 0.1 less. Well, let's try sending one or two more. Oh, then again, we don't need to. We're at war already. Awesome. War already. Right. So they've got one death stack there, or doom stack, whatever you want to call it. 34, 45. So they've only got 49, so that's reasonable. At least it's not 150, like it quite often is. So let's combine our ships. We've actually got enough cash to build some more ships now if we want. So 19,000 crew. So that's 1,900. 3,300 if I build one of each. So almost, with the included troops that we're getting, we'll be able to get 2 of each, plus a little bit more, 3 of each once the crew's kicked in, because they take so long to build. So how much do they cost? So that'll be 7.3. So 13.8. 19 million. I can afford that. I'll actually almost have enough crew for another one of each. Right, we're still building tensions with the Italians and the Germans. Here we go. World War. We've met the doom stack. So let's see how these mortars get on. I'm excited. They've only got 3 battleships though, and these mortars are designed for battleship killing. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on against the smaller ships. I have got the point defense for the smaller ships though. So this has got 8-inch guns. Looks like I forgot to increase the diameter on them. What a numpty. Even though I double checked everything, I still managed to forget stuff. So the other ships have only got 2.9, and then the Charlemagnes are the ones that have got the 8-inch. So despite the fact that we've got the shortest barrels, the actual best tactic is to stay at long range. So we're probably not going to be able to destroy all the ships because we won't have enough ammo. But we're going to stick to what the best option is and stay at long range. Also limits the chance of being hit by torpedoes. This isn't the in a minute, 20, 34, 45, yeah it is the Doom stack. It's just not as big as the ones that I've been fighting recently. Okay, so we want to... There's two different ways that you can do this. Either have the fastest ships at the front, or have the slowest ships at the front and have everyone else match the speed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try out the fastest ships at the front first, which is these battle cruisers. Let's just turn everyone's avoid off. Then we need to find out who is what. So 23, 25, have I added in? So we have 125 there, another one there, another one there, and another one there, and another one there. 23, 23, 23, and 23. So we're going to try that first, see how we get on. Normally you'd do this with the fastest ships at the front being destroyers to scout for you, not battle cruisers. Well, we'll see if the tactic still works with the battle cruisers at the front. Well, we've had 2 penetration shots already, done 3.8k damage right in the first few seconds of the war, the battle, sorry. So we've had 5 pens and 1 overpen so far. I could reduce all my speeds down to cruising speed, but I'm not really bothered. So the main thing is here is keep an eye out in this direction to make sure I don't run into any sneaky destroyers. So obviously they are struggling to hit these smaller ships, but we've got green crew. Oh, we've got a trained one there. Green. Green. So yeah, it's a mix of green and trained, so once I get them up to vets, they're going to have a lot easier time. The main difference with the mortars is we've done 70,000 damage in 44 hits. So we've done more than 1,500 damage on average per penetrating hit. So that's the major difference, is the amount of damage that you get done when you do actually get a penetrating hit. I'm guessing that their battle cruiser's fast, 28, so might see if I can slow him down a bit. These ships that are catching up can deal with these ones that are lagging behind. Look at that, 2,000 damage. I only just started shooting at him. Oh, it was not even him that I hit. It was the battleship that was next to him. That's hilarious. Oh, it doesn't even look like it was a battleship. It looks like it might have been a smaller ship. Right, so let's head in the direction of that battle cruiser, see if we can stop him from escaping. If I wanted, I could start shooting at these battleships as well. I just really wanted to slow down that battle cruiser first. But if he gets away, then he gets away. It's not a big deal. You can actually see the battle cruiser again now, so I'm going to start shooting at him again. Now, as you can see, I'm running low on my AP rounds, which is what I expected would happen. So what I could do is tell all of these lot to switch to HE and then save the AP rounds for when I reach the battleships. It would certainly make sense. He hasn't actually got any AP left. He's got a little bit. I can actually do penetrating hits with HE against the fore and aft deck. The main deck's got 3.8 and then plus another 0.3. So it's got 2.1, just over 2.1. So if we have a look at our, we're shooting at 10 kilometers. So we've got 3.9, so we can actually pen him just with HE rounds. I'm interested what the battleships have got now. 2.1 and 2.3 on the after. So 2.3 would be 4.6, 4.9, so about 5.1 or 5.2. So I'm probably going to need AP rounds to do 5.2. I'd need to be at 15 kilometer range to actually use HE to penetrate. So I am going to need to save some AP rounds for the battleships. So it looks like the armoured cruisers have got the best deck armour. So this ship's now practically run its course, so I might retreat with it soon. It's almost run out of ammo. So this ship now, with it having no ammo, I'm just going to be using it to screen the rest of the ships. Just to tangle with any destroyers or light cruisers that want to venture too close. I'm not going to be the one to go and get close to them though. So if we have a look at their battleships, they've got 22.4 knots. My slowest one's 23.1, so I'm running out of time now, but for future battles I will be able to catch up to them. This battle I'm just trying to take out all the screening ships. I could have, if I wanted, targeted the bigger ships, but I was concerned about them torpedoing me, because that's the only real threat that we've got. So I was more concerned about the smaller ships. So like he's got 42 goddamn torpedoes on him. 4-kilometer range as well, so pretty scary. Armoured cruiser, he's got 6 torpedoes, 6.2 kilometer range. So yeah, I definitely need to take out the smaller ships before I focus fire on the big ships. Let's have a look at this. He took 15 hits before he sunk, 2 pens, and 2 overpens, and an ammo debt. So the big boys are coming into play now. Gotta make sure I don't wander into torpedo range. So even the battle cruisers have got a couple of torpedoes. Looks like I'm being shot at from over here, so I really have to be careful not to get torpedoed here. I'm just about to wander into torpedo range. Well, I definitely needed that increased ammo. A couple here that have still got quite a bit of ammo, but pretty much everyone else is out. I don't think I've quite got enough time to deal with this armoured cruiser. Shame. Well, we sunk 24 and we barely took a scratch. One battleship, one battle cruiser, and a load of light cruisers. So that's a decent first little skirmish. A little skirmish against the Doomstack. Unsurprising, but they hardly ever sign it. Okay, we're at war with the Germans, so I might leave some ships here, just one or two, to protect the convoys, and then with the rest of them, I'll go up and fight the Germans. Looks like every single ship has been slightly damaged. Like 2%, 1%, 1%, 1%. So I am going to have to wait a turn. Well, I'll call it an end to this episode here, guys. So, cheers for watching, take care, I'll see you in the next one.